What I'm really impressed about is like Giannis. Now, Giannis to me is more impressive. His 31 or 32 points a game is way more impressive than James Harden's 39 points a game. Reason being because he's only shooting about 20 something percent from three, and he's only shooting about 50% from the line, and he's still averaging 31 points a game. So I'm going, now this guy has a chance to average 40 points a game at some point during his career if his trajectory continues to grow in the way he plays. But in saying that with Duro, look, I think Duro is making a point about a specific, area of the game, which is scoring points. But what does that translate to winning basketball? We've seen Wilt Chamberlain average 50 points in the season. We've seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with one shot, score 38,000 points. We've seen Karl Malone. We've seen amazing scores. In the end, what matters in this league and how you gain your reputation to be called the greatest is you have to win, in addition to the other things that you're doing. And I have to, respectfully disagree, but that's not to take away anything in the way what James Harden is doing. 50, 60 points is 60 points. I don't care where you score them at. That's a tremendous amount of points. But in addition to that, you got to win, and you have to find a way to really make an imprint on the game to be called the greatest.
What do you think? Really quick, Scal. Really quick. What do you think Jordan would average? Like if he played in today's era with all the free throws and all this stuff, like would he average 40? Would he be pushing 50?
Well, it's always fun to make these arguments and say what guys would do. But I'll say this, he averaged 36, 37 one year in an era where you could literally hand check. Now I can't imagine Jordan playing in an era where you couldn't touch him. Okay. I don't know how that translates. I don't know if he shoots the three ball. I don't know if he needs the three ball. But what I do know is that we couldn't guard him and we could put two hands on him. So I would imagine that he would probably score a minimum of 5 or 6 more points just because you couldn't touch him in this era, because of the way he played. So, that's a tough call. But man, he was a tough guard for anyone, and I think that would be fair to say that he would at least average 40 plus in today's era.
When you look at Giannis, do you think that he has the same mental makeup as Jordan? I know he's not as good as MJ and all the skills and everything like that, but when you brought something up to me early on in my career. You said you got to work your minutes. Now I was never a great player, so working my minutes or milking my minutes where it didn't really matter. I'm just trying to be out there. But do you look at Giannis and say, like, Giannis works his minutes when he's out there? Like, he's efficient, where we can go back to James Harden, but there's a lot of players that are just out there going up and down, collecting points. But do you look at Giannis as a guy that has like kind of the same mental makeup as Jordan?
Scal, I don't like to compare players because I like to appreciate them for who they are and what they do in their era. Giannis is a player that I find as fascinating as any player I've seen since Michael Jordan. This kid is averaging 31, 32 points a game, Scal, and he's only doing it in about 31 minutes a night. And Scal, he's doing this against the frontline players. And he's doing it in an era where we're talking about three-point shooting, getting to the free throw line, and all of the things we talk about offensively. This kid is the anti of everything we discuss or talk about in the NBA. He doesn't play with spacing. He doesn't, shoot a high percentage from any of the areas, from the free throw line or the three-point line. And he's doing it in 31, 32 minutes a night. Now, the thing that's most impressive about him is his impact on winning. This is what he's been able to do. And Scal, I think this kid is the best talent that I've seen since Jordan because of the room for improvement that he has in his game. Scal, I remember when they put him at the point guard position, and he's literally 6'11", 7 feet. Once he gets a consistent jump shot, Scal, I don't care where it comes from, whether it comes from the 3 or 18 feet or 15 feet or whatever, I think he's going to terrorize this league. Now, he's doing it now, and he can't even really shoot. And we know that all players will get better as they mature in this league. They will get better at shooting at some point. Once he starts making a consistent jump shot, I don't think there's anything that this league can do with him, because he's making an impact on winning right now that we haven't seen without a jump shot. And he's doing this against the frontline players in this league night in and night out. And I would venture to say, Scal, that he is going to make a run in this league a la a Michael Jordan, because defensively, what he's doing and how he's impacting the game without a superior offensive threat yet, Scal, I can only imagine what this player is going to do, because he has all of the other intangibles that you need. He has a work ethic. He brings different things to his game year in and year out. And he's got that edge that he plays with. He plays with an edge, Scal, that we haven't seen. He's not out there being friends with anyone. And he's a very competitive kid. And I got to imagine that once he gets a consistent jump shot in his game, I don't think there's anything we're going to be able to do with him.
He's a 3-time NBA champion, all-star, former front office guy, and now super agent. BJ Armstrong joining Scal Pals right now. BJ, do you think that Giannis can accomplish all those things that you're talking about and accomplish all those goals in Milwaukee with the Bucks?
Well, I do. And the reason is because you see what he's been able to do consistently year in and year out. Last year, no one picked them to finish where they finished. They lose Brogdon this year, and they don't miss a beat. And he continues to get better and better without having the offensive repertoire that we know is coming. It's coming. I mean, he's going to improve his jump shot. He's going to be able to expand his game beyond how he's playing right now. And as he's proven that he makes the players around him better. So I think this young man here has an opportunity a la Michael Jordan to really carry a franchise because of his mental makeup. Mentally, this kid is very, very competitive. He competes. He competes on both ends. He plays every possession, and he's doing what Scal and I started at the top of this conversation. He's working his minutes. This kid is getting 30 points a night in 1 or 32 minutes. He's not playing 37, 38, 40 minutes to get his 30 points. He's doing it very efficiently, and he's doing it in a way that's very impactful, which to me just shows the type of character and the type of player he truly is.